Oh, hi. Welcome. Gosh, another month. And Nakuona Catch-Up September is here. Your host for today is, or I should say are, Judith Bruce
Yeah.
Golding. Yeah.
Hello.
And myself, Sue Brown. Today, we are delighted not only to have you, our listeners, once again tuning in, but we also have Elaine Yap. Hi, Elaine.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for saying yes to our catch-up.
Okay.
Well, this is a 40-minute Zoom session, which will be recorded and uploaded onto our Nakuona website for all those who were not able to be with us at the moment, and they can watch it later on, but also to document the event. Yes.
Brilliant. And also the visual and the audio for this session has been muted for this part to limit any technical difficulties. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to use the chat at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah. As always, we always quote our Nakuona Code of Conduct. We aim to maintain a safe and positive space where we encourage openness with respect to one another at all times. Nakuona.
Nakuona.
Nakuona. Nakuona. Okay, and before we start, we will have our 30 seconds silence in remembrance of all those who have passed on, family, friends, unknown.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all our listeners. This is Elaine speaking. I'd like to open this part of the program by saying a quote from Martin Luther King's speech. I have a dream. The dream is for all of us, but as well as that, I feel that we should bring to mind some of the greats that a lot of you might be familiar with. Maya Angelou had a value for words. Words are powerful. Nanny of the Maroons is a Jamaican lady who showed determination and resilience. Sorry. Marcus Garvey is was a peaceful negotiator. Mary Seacole, you must know or have heard at some time that she was a nurse that tended soldiers in the war, Jamaican nurse. Whitney Houston, a lot of the music lovers will know who she is and the impact she made on society. Nelson Mandela is another famous one and very much loved by all the world, let's say. Muhammad Ali is another one that every boxer or every person around the world shows great respect for. I'd like to mention my aunt who mothered me. She gave me all the good values and taught me about life, really. So there you are. Any listener would like to contribute to the memory of these famous people can go on our website and put their bit in. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you. You know, as you were saying these, I was thinking of those as well. I mean, quite recently, you know, with the COVID, and there's many who have passed on too, under various circumstances, you know, loved ones are being missed, you know, but the memory It's one of the greatest things that we have is memory.
Yeah.
And we can always keep ones alive by calling their name and remembering them, you know. And those of you who know me, you know, within my family, especially my dad, you know, I remember him all the time. So that was really nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. Elaine. Okay, so this is our Nakuona Catch-Up 2020. On the 1st of February, gosh, the time has gone by so quickly.
Oh, wow.
Nakuona celebrated the achievements of female businesses and community leaders here in Birmingham of African and Caribbean heritage. And one of those change makers was the beautiful lady herself, Elaine Yap.
Yeah. Being modest as well, of course.
Yes, and Elaine was nominated like the other ladies too. They were nominated and they all received an award. Oh yes, you've got yours there. Ooh, let's see, there you go.
Can you see?
Mm-hmm. You can
Yeah.
see, yes. And as the Nakuona Change-Maker, yes, they'll receive the pin as well. I've got mine on, I think mine's here. Yeah, yes, we've all got our pins on. So each person comes on, so we can recognize, you know, the achievements. So Elaine, since receiving your award back then, you know, what was the feedback, family and friends, you know, when you got home and they, you know, and you explained to them that you had won, you know?
Family and friends were all excited for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first award I've had. And as you know, I was really chuffed. You know, it showed by the grin on my face when I went up on the stage to receive the pin and the award.
Yeah.
It's something I'll cherish forever because it goes towards the dream that I mentioned of Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
He had a dream, but as I said, the dream is for all of us. You know, we have thoughts of and aspirations of being somewhere at some time, and the this this Nakuona
Mm-hmm.
ICU, it points us in the right direction because it brings us into the public arena where whatever we do will be shown to the world and be appraised by loved ones and family and friends.
You know, the award was well deserved because, you know, I've known you quite a while, and you have done so many things, which is what, you know, we're going to look at as well. But like you said, on a personal level, being recognized within our own community, I think is a phenomenal thing. And sometimes we forget, you know, forget the works that we are doing. So we were more than honored. I was really honored to know that not only that you were nominated, but you also won the award as well, won an award as well, you know, because you have contributed so much to the community.
Well, I think as well, you know, what the Nakuona idea is brought about by Judith, Dr. Judith and Sue. It's highlighted quite a lot of the successful, ambitious women and maybe men, you know, later on if they choose to join us. But it's showing what we can do if we just put our hands to it, and minds and hearts.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and you have done that. You have showed us many times, and well, I think Judith.
Yes, well, it's a pleasure and a privilege to just speak to you, Elaine, and have you on Nakuona Catch-Up. So welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom section, and this is where you're going to share about the things that have been on your heart and your mind. So okay. I'm going to give a bit of a background of Elaine, because Elaine, you are, I will call you a Jill of all trades.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Your profession spans from nursing to accounting to being a switchboard operator to be in administration for social services, to being a sheltered housing manager. Elaine was also in the first Black Promise, where Sue was the presenter for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't finished yet. Elaine, you were a community caregiver, a befriending project manager for over 50s in King's Standing and Erdington. You've worked for Age UK for 10 years, setting up groups for the elderly. You're also a creative person. You're a writer, a poet, and a published author. You're a member of Writers Without Borders, the Birmingham Writers Without Borders. You're also a member of the Writers Cafe, and you are a member of the Cornerstone Project, cultural networking during COVID-19, Zoom storytelling, and Calypso project. And then on top of that, you're a mother and grandmother.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's probably just a little snippet of what Elaine is, a Jill of all trades.
Jill of all trades.
And really how you are, you know, like a hidden builder within the British society.
Yes.
So you've helped to build the fact that you know, were working with befriending. It shows how your impact within the community is powerful and important.
Mm-hmm.
And we salute you for that.
thank you. I've enjoyed every moment of it. And with Nakuona now and the Cornerstone Project, I feel that I can expand my experiences and share some of the experiences I've had. And hopefully it will spill over to the children of today to be maybe included in the school curriculum to show our creativity on a project such as the Cornerstone Project.
Lovely. So you're going to be normally under this session, it's a time for you to share about your insights from your career, your life, your personal insights. And you wanted to focus on the appreciation of Jamaican language and dialect. So do you want to talk a little bit about that to us?
Well, it's been almost 30 years. It seems a long time, but it's really not. And I've been gathering information because I've realized that our children are losing their identity. And if I put my knowledge and research into doing a book that will prove helpful to them in any way, it's highlighting the life in the Caribbean and the sweetness of our island paradise.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. Why would you call it a paradise? I agree, but why would you call it paradise?
It's feedback from visitors, tourists, and people who search the internet for places that are of great value and great interest.
So what would you say are the gems of Jamaica that you want to share?
The beaches, the food,
Yeah.
the culture in general.
And when you think about the language and dialect, what makes the Jamaican language or the patois so different?
That's another thing that's so sweet because the world is getting a smaller place, and people are now embracing the language and are trying to understand the way we live and everything about us. It's getting more interesting now, I think, for since worldwide travel, but COVID has put a stop to all of this, as you know. But as soon as we can, the written word, the spoken word is good advertisement for us.
Yeah. Well, I think the Jamaican language is recognized. It's one of those languages and accent that is recognized all around the world, you know? And, you know, in your writings, do you write both in the Jamaican language as well as English?
Well, I try to introduce it to family and friends, explaining how they can best understand the language, because people are talking at a fast pace
Yeah.
and they don't listen.
Mm.
If they only listen, they can recognize some of the words as English.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's just like the Irish has got an accent, has got a dialect. We've got a dialect, and it's putting it, to people,
Mm-hmm.
how sweet it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's different. It might be difficult, but it's um, sweet.
I can
Yeah.
I
see on
can't say anything but
sweet. You can
sweet.
see that. You can see that. So, who has inspired you? Who would you say as you know, I don't know, within the culture,
Mm.
and who has inspired you? Maybe as a writer, or you know.
I'm going to write the story of Maya Angelou. A lot of people will know of her, but Louise Bennett,
Mm-hmm.
um, oh, she's a gem. She's a gem. She's a pearl in Jamaican culture, because she actually came over to England and studied,
Mm-hmm.
and she's got command of not only the Jamaican language, as we call patois, but she's also well spoken in English.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mastered the two.
Yes,
Yeah, and she was very proud of
yes,
her own,
Yeah.
like yourself.
yes. I'm proud of being Jamaican, proud of our achievements, and I find that Jamaica stands out among all the other islands
Mm.
as producers of people of success, like Hussein Bolt.
Mm.
Oh, there's so many to name, you know. In every field, once, according to my aunt, once you put your hand to it, you must succeed.
Mm.
And if that, I'll translate that. Anything you put your hand to, heart and mind and soul and body,
Yeah.
you're bound to find success. You
Yeah.
can't sit back and say, well, it'll fall in your lap. You've got to work at it. And the Reggae Boys, bobsleigh team, you name the famous people and
Mm-hmm.
the achievements we've had
Mm-hmm.
for such a small island.
So it's about hard work, determination, and not giving up then.
Ambition.
Ambition, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You must study your book. That's what my aunt always say, and you'll succeed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wow, that's great. So your other insight looks at the UK school curriculum, and you want to see Black studies or African and Caribbean studies as part of the school curriculum. Can you tell us a bit more about your dreams for that and why it's so important to you?
Mm.
Well, they always say, if you don't know something, you know a man who does.
Mm.
And the Cornerstone Project has put forward ways and means of getting through um, council grants, educational grants.
Yeah.
Um, and there's, how can I say, we, we can sort of um, ask the influence of a researcher like David, oh, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his surname, but perhaps you can help me out.
Yeah. Is it Olagesa?
I'll go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he,
David.
yeah, he's a researcher and
Yeah.
TV presenter. Mm.
presenter
Mm.
of Black studies, Black, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Alagosa. Yeah.
yeah. So I think with the people we know, the influence we have,
Mm-hmm.
we can use that as a stepping stone to put Jamaica or put the Caribbean on the world stage. Later on, if I must mention, if I may mention, the we want to include all the Caribbean islands, and we want to introduce the culture as well, and we want to include the general public,
Yes.
because it can be a awe-inspiring thing, you know, to share what we enjoy, what we like, the
Yeah.
sweetness of the Caribbean.
Wow.
I suppose as part of the looking at addressing our needs within the school system, yeah, and who we are as a people, especially at this time, you know, with George Floyd and the amount of issues that's going on, Black Lives Matter. You know, I was brought up here and went to school here, and we didn't learn about many things. We hardly learned about anything to do with Africa or the Caribbean. And if we did, it just pertaining to slavery. And it was kind of brief. They didn't really go into it. And, you know, since the beginning of this year in particular, there have been, especially on social media, a lot of information going around about us as a people, our culture, the interaction between Britain and the Caribbean, Britain and Africa in particular. And I think for many people, not just us, other people as well, you know, they're not really aware of how significant we have been in the building of what they used to call Great Britain.
And the empire, yeah.
Oh, the empire, that's right, yeah. And you know, looking at what you're looking for, part of the curriculum, it'd be really important that we have those right people, you know, to do the research, to write and add to the curriculum, and also the right people in the schools as well.
And hopefully the internet websites can be created as well, whereas people can go and in the privacy of their own homes, they can find out more about us.
Yes. Yeah.
I suppose a bit like the Cornerstone project.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, because that's a project that we have run, and that's on Zoom. Yeah. And that is a platform, you know, that can be used to tell our story. Yeah.
I think, like you said, Elaine, the world is getting smaller. So if somebody, a young person, might want to learn about their history or learn about their grandparents, and if there's somewhere that they can go to in their own time, maybe after school, because sometimes it can feel like a big ask to change our curriculum, to change everything that's been running for a long time. Say, well, by the way, you need to add this, you need to change this, you need to retell this story. And whether that's going to be done in the next 10 to 15 years, we don't really know. But I think just having, like you said, creation of new resources, that if people want to go and watch documentaries like, you know, with David, or even go onto the websites and access resources, I think that's the way to go, really. A bit more independent.
I think the Nakuona name is fitting as well.
Yes.
Because it's opening up not only our eyes, but the public eyes.
Yes.
You know, and it's good to know that the net is there for information, and the net is there if and when it's needed.
Yes. Yeah. Just you mentioned, sorry, Sue, you mentioned the Caribbean islands. What are your thoughts on Barbados's decision to remove the Queen as head of state next year? So
Had you heard that, Elaine?
Yes, yes. I'm saying that I think GB, Great Britain, is flowing with the times. and they're realizing that people need their independence, and people can manage with the knowledge and the information that we're getting all around the world. You know, it's independence is imminent for a lot of the islands coming up. You know,
Do you
so
think it will be a knock-on effect, or do you think
well, Jamaica became independent. There was a 50-50 opinion on it. Some said we should have stayed with GB, and as it is now, getting news from Jamaica, we are showing that we can manage and showing a lot of success in improving the island.
All of the islands.
All of the island.
Well, actually, not even just the Caribbean, because there are other places, the Commonwealth.
Yes.
Many are beginning to relook at that, because the term Commonwealth, I don't know how much of that wealth is common to all of us, you know? So, you know, it is a wake-up time call. And if we say we're independent, maybe it's about relooking at what does independence mean. You know, we all have a flag, and we may have an anthem, or we have an anthem, and you know, and a number of other things. But what is true independence? You know, because the impact will be great. You know, for GB, as you call them. Yeah.
It's showing that we can and we will survive. You know, get to the top somehow.
Yeah.
We have it in us.
We do. About seeing each other and recognizing who we are, because we have that. You know, the lid, we have been kept down. And even though we are, in my opinion, we are saying, okay, we have independence, most of the Caribbean islands or anywhere else. But I think it's about really looking at what does independence mean? You know, what does it really mean? And you have seen the changes, Elaine.
Yes, I have. You know, I've seen on the media as well. You know, because you go on Facebook, you go on whatever it is, and you see. During COVID, I saw a clip where the Prime Minister went round delivering parcels to the elderly, and went round showing how each household can survive by working, I say, the plot of land that they've got, because most of the houses has got a plot of land round what we call yard. So you can plant your little banana tree, you can plant your ackee, and you can plant other things, you know, that will make you self-sufficient.
Wow, that's good. And I'm intrigued, you know, when you talk, you seem to be really interested in education. So what was when you were at school, what were you taught in history, and what was your experience of education like in Jamaica?
It was all, if it's history, it was all British history.
Okay.
And children start at a very young age to go to school. And you could ask a 3-year-old to say the 3 times table, and that 3-year-old could recite the up to a certain amount of timetable. And I'm saying as well, in my opinion, the educational system out there is second to none. What it is like now, I don't know. But because all my children have grown up, and I must say that they start from a very young age being introduced to being ambitious for themselves. You know, they stick to things, but the punishment out there was ever so strict, really, really strict. And a lot of people would probably class it as child abuse,
Yeah.
because we had the cane,
Mm.
we had the pump, the slipper,
Oh.
you know, and it started from home really,
Mm.
because if a child was naughty in school, the child got punished at school.
Mm.
When the child went home, the child would be punished again, you know. So it's all strict and for the good of the child, really.
Yeah. But like you said, it could, you know, the impact, the long-term impact could be just the emotional
Yeah.
Yeah.
stress.
I mean, something like being late for school. I
Yeah.
got, you know, quite a few lashes on my hand, in the palm of my hand.
Mm.
Um, my teacher, if I wasn't paying attention,
Mm.
there again, they might class it as child abuse, but she had a strap and she'd be on that platform
Oh my.
and she'd give you one that you hear the echo of
Oh my
the
gosh.
belt or the
Okay.
strap going
Well,
Oh.
around the classroom. So it didn't do me any harm.
you know, but you do know that for some people, it did
That's
It's
emotionally.
abuse.
too much.
It
It's
did.
abuse.
It was abuse. You
Yeah.
know, and, you know, we've that doesn't really happen. Well, here, you know, people don't get the cane or anything like that.
No,
No,
child abuse
no.
is
Mm-mm.
it was discipline
At
Yeah.
in
the
those days.
time,
It was
At the
discipline.
time, yes, it was
And
this.
it was acceptable.
yeah,
But
norm.
now it's frowned on. So, you know, you have to move with the times.
Of course. When you were a child in school, did you learn about, like I said, here, we learned a little bit about slavery. It touched over. Were you taught about it? What did you know? Did you know that you were African and that you were stolen and things like this? What did you learn?
Yes, we learned about the state slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
We
Okay.
learned about the Africans being stolen
Mm-hmm.
and put on different islands in
Mm-hmm.
sugarcane fields,
Yeah.
cotton fields to assist
Mm-hmm.
in improving the wealth of um, the motherland.
The mother.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you look back on it now, and you see some of the pictures, and you think, how could a human being treat another human being in the way that they treated us?
Mm-hmm.
True.
But that too
Oh,
had a lasting legacy on us, on the psyche. But, you know, no matter what, you know, the Caribbean, the people of the Caribbean, you know, Africans all around the world,
yeah.
we're still here. We're
Yeah.
very creative, you know. As you said, you know, we contribute so much around the world and we forget to see who we are. Like you said, Nakuona ICU,
Yeah.
you know.
A lot of what's happened in the past, they say you should keep the past in the past, but a lot of the past will reflect on our improving conditions all around the world
Mm-hmm.
and make our race be more acceptable.
Yeah.
Because if you look through some of the history books, you'll find that there are a lot of Black achievers.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to incite any sort of hatred, but by what I've read, white people have taken the credit for Black inventions.
Mm.
And I'm not angry about it, but I'm sure that it should be brought to the fore that it was a Black man who
Mm-hmm.
did that.
Or a black woman, African woman,
A
yeah.
Black
Mm-hmm.
person that invented things that people take for granted now.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been truthful, isn't it? It's been honest.
Mm.
Yeah.
And, you know, you should have that right to know the real history.
It is.
You see, we need to let knowledge circle with the wind.
Mm.
We can't keep things under the table.
Mm.
we need to bring it to the stage and let people realize what we're made of.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow.
Let on knowledge circle
Circle with the wind.
with the wind. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, Elaine, I just want to thank you for sharing your insights with us, Nakuona.
Yeah.
Nakuona,
Nakuona.
Q.
This is
It's a pleasure.
this is a bit like this is your life. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
There's so much more you can say,
of course.
but the time is limited.
Of
And
course.
hopefully, we've opened this gate now,
Mhm.
and people will come in and admire our garden.
Mhm.
Yeah. Lovely. Well, I think we could share some takeaways, Sue. What are you going to take away from what Elaine said?
Yeah. The knowledge and your actual term. How do you say it? Knowledge in the wind.
Oh, let knowledge
Yeah.
circle with the wind.
Yes.
Let knowledge circle with the wind.
Like,
Because the more we know is the more we know that we know nothing at all yet.
Yes.
wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and you are an example of you know, the resilience and the ambitious, because you know, you left the country, Jamaica, and you came here and you started as a nurse, but look at all the other things that you were able to do and achieve while being a mother as well in a foreign land.
Yeah, strangers in a foreign land.
You know, and that stands out. That stands out because, like we say, the cornerstone. You are one of those cornerstones. You are one of the foundations that has helped to make, you know, the UK, Britain, what it is today. But also, you're a child of Africa. You're a child of Jamaica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
proud as well.
Yes. To feel proud of who you are. That's big. Not everyone is. Not everyone can feel proud.
Who I am, where I'm from, where may have come from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. My takeaway, I see you, Elaine, when I think about a tree that is strong, but yet, you know, you open your branches out. So you've come from, it's not been an easy journey, we know that, but the fact that you still standing firm after these years and things that you've seen and experienced, but yet your arms are out to still continue to give.
Oh, I'm still open to learning,
Yeah.
and which is something that you can never know enough.
Mm.
And Jamaica has given me my birthright, but also England has given me the privilege of exercising what I've learned in Jamaica. Staying
keeping
strong.
All right.
Lovely.
Thank you.
So
Elaine.
Nakuona.
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 Nakuona. Okay.
Oh, we should say its translation is I see, but it comes from the Swahili language.
Yes.
Mhm.
Swahili.
Yeah.
Nakuona.
Nakuona. I see you. Which is what our badge is about there. Okay. Like we say, thank you, Elaine. Thank you so much. You are a phenomenal lady. Like we'd mentioned, you are a member of our Cornerstone group, and they will all see this as well. Everybody be watching it. And talking about Cornerstone, for those of you who may not know, we have just finished our Cornerstone project, and so we're actually in the process of looking at our next steps. So hopefully by the next ICE catch-up, yeah, we shall know, we can confirm where that next step is leading us to. Yeah, and no doubt Elaine will be a part of that.
So many doors are opening. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
You know, it will include not only the general public, but the other islands as well. so we can sort of use it as an opening for lots of other things,
Yes.
which can be fun
Yes.
and can be educational.
Yes.
Exactly.
What you're about. Yeah.
True teacher there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just to end out, as we know that well-being and mental health is really important for us in our community. But also I've found this Swahili proverb which says, to get lost is to learn the way.
I love it. To get lost is to learn the way.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
And we do want to thank everyone, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Tuning in to our Nakuona Catch-Up, and we wish you all the best wishes in your journey.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Nakuona.
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 Nakuona. Nakuona.